Who you are screams so loudly in my ears that I cannot hear what you are saying. I think that is a Ralph Waldo Emerson quote. And I think that's perfect. I think it summarizes, well, so much of society these days, so much of where we're at, that people talk a big game. People, especially on social media, especially on here, want to talk a big game and want to show off their highlight reel and all this kind of stuff. But I think we've gotten really adept at, well, judging who people truly are and when they're just, well, talking bullshit. And I was reflecting on this myself within my own, what I put out here, what I'm doing, all this kind of stuff. And if I'm being brutally honest with myself, this has been working. I've been reaching people and we've been progressing, but slowly. Not at the rate I would want, not at the rate I expected, none of that kind of stuff. And we've spoken many, many times before that your reality is a direct reflection of your habits, your thoughts, and your choices. It's your fault. If your life is shit, it's your fucking fault. If something's not working, it's your fucking fault. And the second you realize that everything in your reality, everything in your life is your fault, that becomes the greatest day of your life. That becomes the day that, well, you get to take control of everything because, well, it's your fault. And for as long as you keep kicking it up to other people, you know, government, my boss, my wife, my circumstances, whatever the reason you can add to it, whatever that might be, that you feel is out of your control, you're going to stay stuck. Because, well, if it's out of your control, if it's not your fault, you can't do anything about it. And that's the ultimate victimhood mentality, and it's where most people stay. Well, it's not my fault. I don't have enough money, or I don't have the opportunities, or I don't have the time, or wasn't blessed, or, you know, insert myriad of excuses. But for as long as you continue to believe that, well, you'll stay exactly where you are. Which is why people throw up those excuses, because it absolves them of the responsibility. It absolves them of taking a long, hard look in the mirror, using some introspection and some self-reflection, and realizing that, well, it is all your fault. That if you absolve yourself of the responsibility, you can not have to worry. You don't have to change it. This is life. But the second that you step up and go, oh, it is my fault, it is due to my choices, it is due to my actions, it is due to the effort and all the things that I'm doing, well, then the burden falls on you to do something different if you aren't happy with it. And as I said, that's the greatest gift you can ever have. Realizing that it is your fault gives you the opportunity to then fix it, to do something about it, to make different choices. And so I was having this reflection, and it's deeply, deeply fucking uncomfortable to sit in the pain of not being happy, to sit in the pain that, well, the results aren't coming. And the question becomes, are you doing what is required? And so I sat in this, and when I looked at demanding greatness, and I looked at how I'm progressing with these areas of my life, and I was like, oh, it is all my fault. It's 100% all my fault. I am not giving it absolutely everything. Who I am isn't at the highest level. Like, I'm not demanding greatness. I'm not demanding greatness of myself. And part of the problem was that I was comparing myself to people that I don't want to live like. I was comparing my level of effort, my actions, my life to people's lives that I wouldn't trade for, for anything. There is zero chance I would want their life. So compared to them, yeah, I am. I'm working out every day. I'm doing my weighted walks every day. My nutrition is pretty fucking bang on. But is it demanding greatness? Fuck no. Is it giving everything I could give? Absolutely not. Have I kicked, my demons? Have I kicked those procrastinating habits? Have I actually gone all in? No. And this is the trap that I find a lot of people fall into is, well, if you compare yourself to average or below average or those that you grew up with or all those things, you put in a little bit of effort, you put in a micro effort, yeah, you're fucking kicking goals. You're killing the game. But compared to the true high achievers, compared to that next level, no, not really. You're not even in the arena, let alone in the game. And that was my biggest problem. And I think part of it is that you do have to surround yourself with people who are going to force you to elevate, with people who are well above you and who are going to push you forward. And I wasn't doing that. I was looking around at, family and associates and those kinds of things and going, well, compared to you, I'm a fucking rock star. And that's not, no, let's be honest, it is a bit judgmental. I'm not going to lie, I am a little bit judgmental on that because they have the opportunity to do better, to be better. They're not making the choices to do so. And so I was settling because I was like, yeah, big fish, small pond. I've run my gym for 13 years. My wife is retired. I'm in pretty good shape. My kids are fucking excelling. We have a pretty reasonable life. But nobody wakes up and dreams about a pretty reasonable life. Not even fucking remotely. But I'd settled because I was like, oh, well, that's decent. And if I compared myself to when I started this, man, night and day, made leaps and bounds forward and become a different man. But compared to what I know I'm capable of, compared to the level I aspire to be at, no, I haven't reached that yet. I haven't gotten to that point yet. And I'm settling and then wondering why things aren't excelling. Because, well, as I said, who you are screams so loudly that I can't hear what you're saying. So I can say all the things, I can tell you all about the things, but if I am not living up to my highest standards, well, let's be realistic here. Why the fuck would you care? Why the fuck would you listen when I tell you to do something? Why would you listen when I share my stories and what I know will make a difference for you? Because it feels hollow, it feels inauthentic, it feels fake. And yeah, compared to the guy on the couch, compared to the guy who isn't working out, compared to the guy who's just kind of ticking the box, compared to the guy who's, working out 1 or 2 times a week, yeah, I'm killing it. But I'm not authentically living at the level I know I should. I'm not working at my highest capacity in every area. I'm not giving it my all. I'm wasting a shit ton of time. I'm not pushing my business as far forward as I could. I'm not leaving it all out there every day. I work hard, but could I work harder? Yeah, I could. Could I give more? Yeah, I really could. And we discussed this the other day with my workouts. And so the workouts themselves I fixed. That intensity has gone right up. And learning those few tweaks and adjusting a few things has made a massive difference. And the example I'd give you right now is very, very rarely do I ever feel anything when I do biceps. If ever. They're just one of those things, especially with carrying an AC joint. Do I ever notice anything? Made some tweaks, changed my intensity, pushed the level. Oh, the DOMs I have today is next level. The contractions I got yesterday when doing them, unbelievable. And, for those who are going to nitpick, no, DOMS is not the aim of the game. It's not to be as sore as possible, is to get maximum recruitment. They're just often a side effect of getting maximum recruitment is DOMS, or delayed onset muscle soreness. But it's usually a really good indicator of how hard you've pushed those muscles, especially in isolation. And I can tell you that I fried them yesterday. So I elevated that. Now I'm looking at my weighted walks. I'm looking at that kind of aerobic cardio-based effort. I think I could give more. And I could give excuses. I really could. I tweaked my hip at a basketball game the other week. And so it's like, I should really rest it. No, what I should do is fix the issue. But again, I'm out of alignment with who I want to be. I'm out of alignment with the things I'm sharing with you. Of course it's not resonating with you. Of course it's not going through. That I'm like, I'll be a little bitch about it. I'm a little bit sore. I'll take a quiet day. I'll have a rest day. Not that I've had an actual rest day, but I dialed down the intensity. And there is a time and a place for that. This is not that. This is not that. And it's a hard one for me to swallow. That, as I said, I know what I've got here. I know how much of an impact I can make. I know what a difference teaching you these skills of demanding greatness, of building mental toughness, of discipline, of focus, starting with the fitness and the gateway drug that it is to everything else in your life. I know what that can do for you. I was telling my wife the other day that I had a moment where I was like, fuck, I feel old. That I have been working in the fitness industry and training people for 18 years. My fitness career can legally drink in Australia. That's how fucking old I am. I was like, fuck. I've been changing lives for that long. I know what I've got is valuable. But I can talk the talk all I fucking want. But if I'm not authentically living my life, it doesn't mean shit. And the same goes for you. And this is one I've spoken about before with kids, and I think this is the most powerful one. And I had to remind myself. And this is something that I don't think people get, that you have to keep reminding yourself. You don't just do it once and it's like a ridiculous college degree on your wall. Oh, look, I was a disciplined man. Job done. Tick. No, you have to keep reminding yourself. You have to keep showing up. You have to keep changing the game, because you will slip back. Living at this highest level is not a natural state, especially in our society. It is not what is normal. So you have to keep redefining it. You have to keep reminding yourself. You have to keep pushing yourself forward. You have to keep redefining your greatness and demanding it of yourself. But it's that one of your children that if you're going to tell them that they can do anything and they can be anything and that they can chase their dreams, which I certainly believe you should be, and if you aren't, well, what the fuck? I find it ridiculous when parents are like, oh, you should be a bit more realistic, you should, settle, this is good, just go for okay. No, fuck that. Fuck that for a joke. No, go out and chase your dreams. You can do fucking anything you want with the right level of commitment, discipline, and consistency. You can. You can achieve fucking anything. So if you're going to tell your kids that they can do anything, they believe in themselves, that nothing is impossible, that if they put in effort and consistency, they can make it a reality. At some point, or even on a subconscious level, because kids fucking know. They know. They're way smarter than we give them any credit for. And they're going to look at you and go, but you didn't, Dad. You didn't chase your dreams. You don't go out there and demand greatness. You don't go out there and be your best. You don't push forward every day. You come home and sedate. You hide from your life. At some point you decided that was good enough. Even if it wasn't even close to what you wanted. You just accepted it. And that was life. And then you just coast on by, floating on the waves of life and just seeing what happens. Instead of getting up every day and demanding more of yourself, demanding to be your best, working and thriving and striving for more. You just decided sedation was good enough. This life is good enough. And that's part of why you fucking hate it. It's why you're sad and miserable as fuck. Because, well, you have no purpose, you have no drive, you have nothing pushing you forward towards your greatness. You're not striving for anything. That is like death to a man, to just exist. It literally is. It's death. You're just waiting to die. So you need to go out there, and if nothing else, if for no other reason than for your children, for their future greatness, so that they can see you, so that the day that they figure out who you are, you're exactly who you always presented yourself as. That's why you need to do it. That's why you got to pursue it. That's why you got to push forward. Because at some point they're going to realize who you are as an adult. Who you are as a person. Not just this mythical creature of daddy. You'll be your son's first hero and your daughter's first love. And one day that curtain will be pulled back. Those rose-tinted glasses will be ripped off their face, and they will see you as the man that you truly are. And I pray for myself and for you that on that day, you are everything that they thought you were. Hell, that you exceed everything they thought you were. Because there is nothing, and I mean this from personal experience, nothing more devastating than realizing that your father isn't the man that you perceived him to be. So that, I think there is no greater honor in this life than to be a father. And to raise your standards to match that responsibility. It is your duty, your honor, and your obligation to be the greatest version of yourself that you can possibly be. And that starts in the physical realm. That starts in fitness. That starts being the fittest, strongest, healthiest, most unbreakable, badass version of yourself. And as I said, I'm not happy with where I am. I'm 1,000 times better than when I started, and 30 kilos better off than when I started. But I am not happy. And I'm going to start a series on here where I'm going to document, well, leveling the fuck up. Not just this level, but like full document it. And not going to lie, it's making me uncomfortable even considering it. But that's part of it, that I need to be able to get that out there. I'm going to document as I take on the physical, as I take on the mental, as I take on, well, the business side as well. How I grow this to the level that I know it can and should be. Not from this little fledgling thing that could, die off at any moment, but to, the grizzly bear of businesses that will fuck you up, that I know it can be, that's going to just take every man who comes into it and completely transform their world, make them the greatest version of themselves. I'm going to share that whole journey with you. But first I've got to take care of me. First I've got to get my shit right. I've got to get that next level up. Because, well, right now, as I said, I understand why you wouldn't. Why this isn't growing. Because, well, I'm not authentically living as the man I know I should be. So, I don't begrudge. I don't resent. I don't hold it against you for not wanting to join that movement yet. But trust me, it's coming. And if you're ready to, jump on that wait list, because I'll be there really damn soon, and I'm going to share that whole thing with you. So if you're ready to jump in at the beginning, Click the link in the bio. Let's get you started on that process. And come along for the ride of demanding greatness, to becoming the greatest version of yourself. Because I know this is going to be a hell of a ride for me, and I'm going to take you with me, and we're going to change the whole goddamn game for you. So if you're actually ready for that, you're ready to step up and join me to become the most authentic, the greatest, strongest, and most capable version of yourself, then click the link in my bio, and let's see you there. Otherwise, I'll talk to you again tomorrow.